So, bro, tell me what happened at QLC, Quality Living Center.
Okay, before I talk about and get into what they did to me at Quality Living Center, I just want to tell you the person holding that phone and me and all the tribes is called, this is a prodigy of Yeshua Joseph. Powerful words amongst kingdom of heaven as Yahweh prepares us for wherever we go. When I was at Quality Living Center, I wrote a book called The Little Book that take pride and joy in it. And through brotherhood and through encouragement, that through brotherhood and love, so for me and my brother, the angels divine the plan, do the leap of faith and have encouragement and love, which empowers me and my brother every day, my sister-in-law Jess, and all of us to do the right thing. And my nephew and my nieces, Jacob Jr., and my nieces, Brooke, my nephew Jacob Jr., and Johnny and Miley. And when I was in Quality Living Center, they found out about my little book and I had a seal. It's talking about Yahweh's birthday. I wrote Yahweh's birthday to become a secondary prophet, and they decided to take my seed with a sucker. They would put a sucker on me, kind of like a cow's milker, and that's how they took my seed. They did it for a whole year. Then about 3 years later, they put it in a stock where they insulated with a cylinder thing, and then put it in an incubator to have individuals into dildos. And they have over 10,000 dildos, and they still sell them on JoeyTheKangaroo.com. And I just want to say to all the baby mamas that are out there, I'm not the only one. I think my brother, they took him a sucker at George Jr. too, and he didn't know about it. And I think even my brother Steve, and when I was living in Jed's, they put a sucker to us too. And we'll come back to the next. This is the stories of Yeshua Joseph. God bless. Have a fun time. This is Reverend Thomas. God bless.
No, bro, I want to hear more stories, bro.
Okay, hold on. Let's do another one.
All right.
First, put that on YouTube.
I got you, bro.
Are you seriously on YouTube?
Yeah.
You want me to talk about more stories?
Yeah. Tell me what it's like growing up. What did you go through growing up?
Well, growing up, I was a kid, had a high energy, but before that we were giants, and then we got shrunk down by a very powerful Super Cronuba Novo fruit that shrunk us down from a giant. That we worked really hard in our lives building buildings, and several giants, not just Aquip and Unco. There were several giants that worked by several different names that worked very hard building buildings in this foundation of the United States as we know it. There's people building buildings, but two people stood out the most. There's about four of us that stood out the most, but two people that didn't mind working when they had to get on cranes. When the masons didn't want to do it, but they were pushing sediments up of a pulley, bending pulley, and we had to average our weight to put bricklayers on it. And then we called Napium and Nepium, and then we all came together and built the foundation of the red brick houses all around the United States. And we do get a certain amount of that fund. We get a certain amount of that fund during the Week League, and we're all rich. If we really wanted to be rich, we would. But money is not about everything, but we would like to get one day have that money so we could be closer together as a family with Steve and Jess's brother down in South Carolina. That's when we may move Mom down there too, and we can all be together.
No, I mean, bro, like growing up, like what was it like growing up?
Oh, growing
Mom
up
and stuff like that.
with Mom, I told my mom earlier about taking medication. I told her one of the most important about taking medication, and this goes to people that are in jail. I have total respect for you, everybody that are in jail that has done a crime, because it's not their fault they've done that crime. It's because they have a lobe in their brain that don't create a certain chemical at all, and it relies on other brain stems. And each one of those convicts have a lobe like that. And if they will give a chance like they do mentally ill, I think there would be nobody in prison right now, because it's because they have a gift like any other person has a gift. Maybe it's artwork, or maybe it's building a little dollhouse. Maybe it's something that they have. Maybe they want to be a therapist too, like they're getting therapy in jail. We all can live in a society as just a society of health, good health, and people taking their meds and doing what God wants us to do, and doing favors for everybody to live a better life. To even put that 10% that you know that's going somewhere, even if it's scratch off tickets or something like that, you know, it's gonna go back into. No, it's going to go back into buses, the community, the elderly. That's a lot, and it's going to go back into food for the homeless, because that's what it does. That's what most of the money from Scratch Rocks gets to do. Is people that go to the church, the society knows how to get that money turned back in to make sure that 10% is in there in a certain way, in a format. But wait, now Donald Trump is doing what the country is good and everything. But I just want to say, if Donald Trump is ever watching this video, that people that are down in Mexico are Inca and Mayans, Native American Indians, that deserve the right to live in the United States because they were here first. And maybe a little of it might be Egyptian in them too, because Egyptian migrated with Mexico back in the 1700th century, 1800th century. But if they have a majority of Indian in them, they deserve to be here as much as Caucasians and England, and any race there is to be lived here.
Yeah, bro, but I'm saying, like, growing up.
Oh yeah, growing up was I
like
think
in Titusville and stuff like that.
Growing up in Titusville, it was fun, because Titusville was one of the most. When I was a kid, I got to do schoolwork. I was just living with foster family for a little bit in Titusville with Margaret. Outskirts of Titusville with Margaret. Was that Titusville or was that Meadville, Jake? Like outside of Titusville, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Titusville.
Margaret in Titusville, but I was living with foster care, and with my family. I'd go in and out of foster care, and that's something where I'm proud of my brother, because he takes care of a family and he makes sure that his kids are well taken care of. I'm telling you, my brother works his ass off to make sure this family is fed and make sure the bills are being paid. And I'm just proud of my brother because of that. And
thanks, bro. Thanks.
You're welcome. When we were kids growing up, we all revolved around our mom. You know, my mom was in and out of Warren so many times, but she's starting to realize that she has to take her medicine to stay well, and Warren's gonna give her an infinite amount of time to be there, because everybody loves my mom there, and everybody loves her when she's out and she's doing well and she's doing good, because when she's out well and doing good, that's when she's going to church, and I have sentimental values to going to church with her, because it's not the reason why I'm not going to church. But when we were in Titusville, we used to go along the slope when the slope sled riding hill. And
what about Texas, dude?
Yeah, we took a U-Haul to Texas, and we took a U-Haul to Texas, and we went down Mississippi, and I was sleeping in the U-Haul. Jake was like, Joe. Steve was saying, Joe. And Danny was saying, Joe, wake up. You're going to miss the miss the Mississippi because it's